Come, come, let's hear the moral story. Come, come, let's hear the moral story.
All right, today we are diving into a truly classic tale, one that you've probably heard of, but maybe don't know all the details of. The Legend of the Snow Queen. It's this incredible story about friendship and just how powerful love can be, even when the odds feel completely impossible.
And really, that's what this whole story boils down to. It's built on this one single idea, that the bond between two people can literally be a force of nature, powerful enough to melt even the most magical, a truly frozen heart.
So, our story kicks off with these two kids, Kay and Gerda, and they are the absolute best of friends, inseparable. Their world is this perfect, happy little bubble. But you know how these stories go. That perfect world is about to shatter, and it all starts with a piece of broken magic. Now here's where things get really interesting. The villain of the piece isn't exactly a person, it's a thing, a mirror. An evil troll made it, and its whole purpose was to twist reality. It made anything good or beautiful look twisted and ugly. You can think of it as a perfect metaphor for cynicism, right? It's a filter that only lets you see the bad in everything. Well, this mirror shatters, and millions of tiny poisonous shards of glass just scatter all over the world.
And this is the moment everything changes. Just by horrible luck, two of those microscopic splinters find their way to poor Kay. One gets in his eye, so everything he sees is now distorted and ugly, and the other goes straight into his heart, basically freezing his ability to feel love or warmth. It's a quiet attack, but it is absolutely devastating.
And the transformation is just night and day. The Kay that Gerda knew and loved is just gone. Where he was warm and kind, now he's cold, critical, and mean. He used to love the beauty of the roses they grew together, but now he can only see their flaws. The magic didn't just change his mood, it completely rewired how he saw the entire world.
So, with Kay's heart now as cold as ice, he becomes the perfect target for the story's mysterious and powerful villain, the Snow Queen herself.
The queen is basically the human version of that coldness. She's described as beautiful, sure, but like a statue made of ice, flawless, but with zero warmth or life. She finds Kai, and to make sure he's truly hers, she blows this powder on him that makes him forget all about Gerda, his last connection to his old life. And then she just whisks him away to her palace way up in the frozen north.
Okay, so this right here is the most important part of the story. Kay's gone. Gerda is completely heartbroken, but her spirit, oh, it is not broken at all. This isn't a story about a princess waiting for a prince to save the day. No way. This is the story of a hero, Gerda. And what makes her a hero is her stubborn, powerful refusal to give up on the friend she loves.
And so, the real heart of our story begins. Gerda sets off on this incredible, epic journey, with basically nothing but hope and the memory of her friend to guide her through this huge, dangerous world. Now, as she travels, Gerda meets all sorts of different characters. And what's so amazing is that even in a world that's been infected by the cruelty of that magic mirror, she keeps finding kindness everywhere she looks. From a magical old woman, to royalty, to a talking crow, even a tough little robber girl and a reindeer. Every single one of them helps her get a little bit closer to finding Kay. It just goes to show that goodness is still out there.
After this long, long journey, she finally makes it. The final destination, the Snow Queen's palace. And it's described as this vast, endless place made of ice. And maybe even more chilling, it's a place of complete and total silence. It's the absence of all feeling.
And that's where she finds him. Not locked in a dungeon, but just empty. He's trying to solve this impossible, pointless puzzle, using pieces of ice to try and spell the word eternity. He's trapped in a game of pure, cold logic with no joy or purpose. The spell didn't just freeze his heart, it kind of stole his soul. So that brings us to the ultimate question, right? In this place, it is the definition of cold, a place with no emotion, no life. What can one little girl's love possibly do against a magic that is so powerful?
Well, the answer isn't a magic sword or some kind of clever counterspell. The solution is actually something much, much simpler and, as it turns out, way more powerful.
This is it, the climax of the entire story. Gerda runs up to Kay, she throws her arms around him, and she just cries. And her tears, which are full of all her love and sadness, fall right onto his chest. And they do what no army or magic ever could. They melt the shard of ice around his heart.
And the change is instant. You can see how beautifully it all lines up. The shard in his heart melted. The shard in his eye, it gets washed away by his own tears, because now he can cry too. And with his heart and his vision clear, all his memories of Gerda, of home, of who he used to be, it all comes rushing back.
So hand in hand, they just walk out of the ice palace. It has no power over them anymore. They make the long journey home, and they're not just kids anymore. They're two people who have stared into the absolute coldest part of the world and came out the other side, stronger, wiser, and with a friendship that's been tested by magic itself.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. This is more than just a fairy tale. It's a huge metaphor for how things like cynicism and cruelty and just coldness can make us feel isolated. So it makes you wonder, what are the splinters of ice in our world today? Those little moments of judgment or bitterness. And how could they too be melted? Not by some grand gesture, but by the simple, powerful warmth of a real human connection.